party people. Who's excited for the second half of my Taylor Swift book recommendations video? Because I know I am. Welcome to Caitlin J. Reed's. In celebrations of Midnights, I decided to do my own Midnights Mayhem with me. And do the part 2 to the Taylor Swift video. Hi, hello, welcome. Today, we are going over 2 songs out of every Taylor Swift album that she owns. So we're talking Taylor's version and Folklore, Evermore, Lover. Okay, we're talking Red, Fearless, Folklore, Evermore, Lover. Okay, 2 songs from each of those albums and giving you a book recommendation based on the vibes of the song, the lyrics, the emotions that they provoke. Okay, and I'm so excited to get into this. So without further ado, comment down below, subscribe. Let's get into it. I hope you guys have as much fun as me. Okay, starting from Fearless, Taylor's version, we have The Other Side of the Door, which is a song pretty much all about how Taylor says one thing but really means another and really wants you to come back. She might yell at you and tell you to go away, but she wants you to come back and console her. And this song is so relatable. And who did it make me think of other than Tuan and Fail from the Wheel of Time? So for this song, I have to go with the Wheel of Time books. I can't even pick a book, but the end ones, since that's where Tuan shows up. But I really thought that it was such a funny song, especially when thinking it through the gaze of Fail, who is Perrin's love interest and Perrin is constantly confused because in the beginning he feels like he's always doing the wrong thing. He can smell her dissatisfaction, her anger, her frustration towards Perrin for not doing the right thing, but he doesn't even know what the right thing is. And it's because Fail just wants him to know. And as a lady, I get that, okay? And then in regards to Tuan, she just comes from a different culture, the Shanchen culture. So Matt really has no idea how to communicate with her, what the culture is, what the omens are, and still manages to kind of win over Tuan when she is completely cold to him, completely turned off to him, and calls him her pet, okay? And that to me is just such other side of the door energy. It's not even funny. So I knew when I was going through Fearless, Taylor's version, that Other Side of the Door really encapsulated those 2 characters, in particular for me. So I had to go with the Wheel of Time books, the Wheel of Time ladies, especially Tuan and Fail. Next, for Fearless, we have Fearless by Miss Taylor Swift. And pretty much Fearless encapsulates just the love and how you feel like you can do anything together. Young love, first loves, and the feeling of invincibility within those. And if that doesn't scream Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase, I don't know what does. All right. They can conquer anything together. And even though in these first set of books, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend until The Last Olympian, which is why I held it up, you can still see their love for each other and how when they arc together, they truly feel like they can conquer the world. They can do anything as long as they have the other one by their side. All right. And that shit slaps. All right. And that's how Fearless makes me feel. Youthful, juvenile, in love. And that's how Percy and Annabeth feel towards each other. They're youthful, juvenile, and they're in love. Okay. And I love that. And I love that for them. Therefore, I've assigned them Fearless by Miss Taylor Swift. All right. And that covers Fearless Taylor's version by Miss Taylor Swift. Let's get on to Red Taylor's version, which I have such a special place in my heart for Red in general. I went to go see Taylor Swift on the Red Tour. Shout out Kira, fellow reader. Okay. Shout out to you. And that was an amazing time. So when Red Taylor's version came out, I was eating it up. The girls were eating. I was all for it. I had a blast. So it was hard, okay, to pick 2 songs out of Red Taylor's version, but I think I did an okay job. All right, nothing new. Nothing new. I picked, honestly, the Pitter twins. For this one, I know I talk yada yada yada. Caitlin loves the Bitter Twins. This is from the Winnowing Flame series. I picked this one specifically because I feel like it really, the song Nothing New, to me, encapsulates the feeling of knowing the mortality of what you're doing and that your fame or your notoriety has an expiration date. And for me, I felt that way a lot about the Eborans. Number one, I mean, they have this disease that kills them when they used to be immortal. So, I mean, they're constantly thinking about when they will no longer be the youthful, freshful Eborans that they were when they will eventually catch the Crimson Flux and croak out. All right. But we also have Celephon, okay, who pretty much we learn, spoilers for the Ninth Reign, they have war beasts, okay? And one of the war beasts is taken by our character, Hestilian, is taken by Hestilian to the enemy compound and is pretty much morphed and turned into a bastardized version of what he was supposed to be. And he's constantly reaching and pining for full connection that he can never quite get. And he knows the expiration date of what he is, and he's in pain, and he just hates his life. Okay, and that's the vibes of Nothing New. If I don't know the vibes for Nothing New. Okay, so yes, I think the Ninth Reign trilogy as a whole really encapsulates that because, like I said, the Aborans realize their mortality. We have Tor the Oathless, who just feels useless pretty much, and like that all he can do is drink wine and, you know, protect our archivist. And our archivist knows that she's getting older, she's mortal, she needs to figure out the mysteries of the war beasts and not the war beasts, the behemoth, the ghosts. Yeah, I can't explain it, okay? It just gives the vibes. It gives the vibes. It gives the emotion. Winnowing Flame trilogy. Nothing New. What a great song also. Phoebe Bridgers killed it. Then, of course, we have Red. And I felt like a good pick for Red was Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Why did I think that was a great pick? Because I just felt like the chemistry between our main two characters was so amazing. Loving You was Red. Losing him was blue like I've never known. She was extremely sad to have lost him. Yeah, spoilers. Daughter of the Moon Goddess, mild spoilers. She was sad to have lost her main love interest to an arranged marriage, you know? Missing him was dark gray, all alone. She did feel that way until she found solace in someone who turned out to be an enemy. Forgetting him was trying to know somebody you never met. She really tried to forget him, forget her feelings for him, but it never worked. But loving him was red. Beautiful red. Seeping red. Burning red. And that's just how I felt between the two love interests of Daughter of the Moon Goddess. If you're into short, whimsical writing, I feel like this one's for you. Badass female character, soldier female character, this one's for you. You should pick it up. You should read it. I really enjoyed it. And I feel like I said, the main love between the two love interest characters is such red energy. Okay? I could have chose all 12 10-minute version and picked a book for it, but I feel like that stands alone as a masterpiece. You know, but I just want to acknowledge the all too well 10-minute version right here. All right? Moment of silence for all too well. Taylor's version, 10-minute version. Thank you. Moving on, we have Lover by Miss Taylor Swift. One of the most underrated albums by Taylor Swift ever. I was a Lover hater when it came out, okay? I just wasn't on the bandwagon. Listening back to it now, masterpiece. Lover's so good. Take the time, listen to Lover, okay? But we've chosen two songs, and I feel like I chose well, okay? Especially with this first one, because we chose the song The Archer, okay? I had to choose The Poppy War. What other fucking book trilogy would I choose for The Archer if not The Poppy War? All of my enemies started out friends, helped me hold on to you. Rin and Naja. I've been the archer. I've been the prey. Rin and Naja. The archer. The archer. This is the archer in a book. If you are looking for archer vibes in a book trilogy, hop on the Poppy War bandwagon because it's so good by R.F. Kuang. Okay, it is so good. And Rin, our main character, really becomes from prey to archer as, you know, the time cycles. And we deal with a lot of heavy subjects in this book, so maybe do a trigger warning before reading it, but it's so good. Okay, it's so good. The archer, the Poppy War. Meet the Poppy War. Combat, I'm ready for combat. I say I don't want that, but what if I do? She does. She does want combat. She does want combat. She does. She turns, practically spoilers for the Poppy War trilogy, into the villain by the end. Because cruelty wins in the movies. Like I said, she destroys a whole motherfucking country full of people at the end of this book. Cruelty wins in the movies. I've been the archer, I've been the prey. Who could ever leave me, darling, but who could stay? That encapsulates also the tumultuous relationship between Rin and Naja, who are friends, ? Love interest, ? Enemies, ? If you haven't read this yet, please read this. Please. I beg of you. It's so good. I've ranted and raved about historical context for this book. That is amazing. Just in general, even if you don't know the historical context, this book is amazing. The connections are amazing. The characters are amazing. This is The Archer by Taylor Swift in book form. If you love that book, if you love that song, you'll love that book. Okay, read it. All right, so then we have one of my personal favorite songs on the album, which is The Man by Miss Taylor Swift. The music video has so many Easter eggs. Karma is real. Okay, Midnights, are you excited for it? Leave a comment down below, all right? But for my book recommendation for The Man, I chose Skyward. The Skyward series as a whole by Brandon Sanderson. We follow our main character, Spencer. And she just gets shit handed to her, man. She gets shit handed to her. And I feel like sometimes it's because of her, you know, status as a woman. Maybe sometimes people don't take her fully seriously. Okay? And I don't want to lean it on that, but like I feel like she gets snubbed at a lot of the things, and I feel like it gives a similar energy to The Man. It's not necessarily because she's a woman, but it's for a different reason, and she gets snubbed and everyone hates her, and she can hardly advance anywhere ever, and she's constantly having ceilings put in front of her. And I feel like that is what The Man is trying to accomplish, to convey in that song. And I felt like this was just a good match for it. It's fun and youthful. It's a YA book. The Man is fun and youthful in my opinion. And I just felt like it was a good choice, so I chose it. Also, aren't these covers gorge? Okay. Then we move on to two classic albums, in my opinion. I love a good folky alternative sound, and that is Folklore and Evermore at its finest. So we're starting off here with Folklore and Mirrorball. I love Mirrorball. One of my favorite songs by Miss Taylor Swift. Mirrorball is pretty much just about the fact that you're someone who just wants to fit in, and you'll practically do anything to do it. I'm a Mirrorball. I'll do anything to fit in. For this, I chose The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I don't have the book here because I personally hated it. But this is a divisive book because some people love it, and I feel like this is a good recommendation for this song. Okay, hear me out. Because the whole concept of this is Miss Addie LaRue made a deal with the devil for immortality, okay? But also, no one in this world remembers her. Not a single person. But she manages to be a muse for all different forms of art throughout history and time. And I just felt like that was such a good comparison, Mirrorball and The Secret Life of Addie LaRue, because it's like Mirrorball, I'll do anything to fit in, I'll reflect you pretty much to be one of you. And I feel like Addie LaRue really does that, because at the end of the day she knows that everyone will just forget her. So she really just I feel like just does anything to kind of see if someone will remember her and fit into the crowd and yada yada yada. So I felt like that was a good comparison. Mirrorball, Secret Life of Addie LaRue. Then we have Invisible String. And I hate to be that person, but I chose Heroes of Olympus just to, again, talk about Annabeth and Percy. I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person. Especially because Invisible String already has connections and ties to Greek mythology, the Ariadne story. How could I not compare it to Annabeth and Percy, the invisible string of fate between the two of them, and how their fates intertwine to save the world, Olympus, the gods. Do I even need to say any less? I mean, we talked about it. But I just felt like Invisible String, I couldn't not take that opportunity. It's a phenomenal song, number one. He in this book, pretty much the premise of this is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus. Percy forgets all of his memories and goes to the Roman, pretty much, version of Camp Half-Blood, but the only thing Percy remembers is Annabeth. The only thing he remembers is Annabeth, people. That if that is an Invisible String vibes to you, I don't know what the fuck is. Get your head out of your ass. Thank you. Goodbye. Then, moving on to Evermore, one of my fave albums, we're going to go with No Body, No Crime. Featuring Haim, one of my favorite songs on the album. Phenomenal song. Okay? Phenomenal. We're going to go with He Started It by Meg Howell. That is an unhinged book about an unhinged lady. That's all I gotta say. You know, No Body, No Crime, I feel like whatever book I put with that will explain the recommendation. And He Started It. It's a perfect recommendation for No Body, No Crime. All right, pretty much the premise of this book is siblings are together, their grandfather dies. All right, the grandfather says, you get the money from my will if you recreate the road trip we did when you guys were kids. And they have to do it. And trouble ensues. We have an unhinged woman, an unhinged family, really. And I just think that this is such a great pairing. You should definitely read He Started It by Meg Howell. Listen to No Body, No Crime featuring Haim by Taylor Swift. It'll be a great time. It will, I promise. Cowboy Like Me by Taylor Swift. And pretty much what this song embodies to me is two people that are stealthy and stealthy and really manage to connect with one another and get down with one another. And I just really love the vibes of the car. You're like me, perched in the dark, telling all the rich folks anything they want to hear. Like, it could be love, it could be the way forward, only if you pay for it. And I feel like Jade City, the Greenbone Saga, I feel like the vibes match. We're giving Hilo and Wen, we're giving this sister Shay and whoever her love interest is, the adultery, you know, that's going on. Never wanted love, just a fancy car. Now I'm waiting by the phone like I'm sitting in an airport bar. You had some tricks up your sleeves, takes one to know one. If that isn't Hilo and Wen, I don't know what is, all right? Because especially because Wen is kind of ostracized in the community, especially in this first book. I just feel like the vibes are so similar. If you like Cowboy Like Me, you might like the Greenbone Saga. And there's so much more to the Greenbone Saga besides what I'm explaining. But that's not the point of the video. I'm trying to convey to you that we might have some matching vibes here. Vibe alert, okay? Matching vibes. Cowboy Like Me, Greenbone Saga, especially this first book. All right? Without further ado, that's the end of this video. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. I know it's something a little bit different for me, my channel, but maybe if you guys pick other different artists, I can do a similar thing. I was thinking about maybe doing My Chemical Romance. I feel like that will be super applicable to science fiction and fantasy. It was a little bit hard to do Taylor Swift, but I like a good challenge, okay? I like a good challenge, and I feel like I accomplished it. You know, I feel like I did. Some people may not agree with me, but not everyone has to agree with everyone. That's the good thing about being a fucking human being. Okay, Caitlin J. Reads. Like, comment down below. What's your favorite Taylor Swift song? All right, we've come to the end of this series. All right, subscribe. Thank you so much for being a part of the fam. I hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.